All right, you may have never heard of him, but Ilan Ramom is one of the most famous pioneers in Israel for becoming the first and only astronaut in the history of the tiny nation. Ramon was tragically killed while returning from a 16-day journey in space, and just 6 years later, his oldest son also passed away in a training accident to become an Israeli Air Force fighter pilot. Today, Israelis are able to commemorate their lives through a special foundation created in their honor. And joining us today with more is the CEO of the Ramon Foundation, Livne. Thank you so much for coming in, Ran.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's begin. What exactly does the Ramon Foundation do?
The foundation has two branches. The first one is leadership development. We're doing educational programs all across Israel. Most of them are with the Israeli Air Force. And the second branch is our space education branch, in which we are doing educational programs, advanced educational programs with the Israeli Space Agency, with former astronauts, with NASA in Israel, and hopefully we're planning to expand to other places in the world.
Beautiful. So there are a lot of students that are participating in these programs that you have. Can you tell us how many there are and where they come from?
So there are approximately 5,000 students today, children from elementary school to high schools, who are participating in all of the programs. In the space education, it's barely about 50% from the two branches.
Wow. Now, let's talk a little bit more about space. Ilan Ramom was a real pioneer here, like we said before. What kind of experiments are you guys doing? Because I understand that you are actually working on conducting experiments in space.
So our flagship program is called Ramon Space Lab, and it's a very advanced educational program in which we're enabling children to send scientific experiments into the International Space Station.
Wow.
There's NASA astronauts are performing these experiments. The experiments are coming back to the ground, and the children are being able to see their results. It's considered to be one of the most advanced programs today in the world.
Yeah, can you give us an example of what type of experiment?
So for example, I'll give you the last experiment that we sent to space. Was about rotten apples, about mold in apples. So if you take in an apple and you cut it into half, and you put it inside your kitchen, it will get oxidized and then it will get rotten, obviously.
Right.
So the children ask themselves, what is going to happen in outer space, in microgravity environment? And well, at the end of the day, they got the apple back, they looked at it, they cut an apple, put it inside a tube, sent it to the International Space Station, got it back, looked at the two apples, noticed that they look the same, but the professor from the Weizmann Institute, who accompanied them, told them, no, it doesn't work like this, come to my lab. And they realized with microscopes, obviously, that the enzymes and the bacteria that grew up on the apple in outer space were totally different than the one who grew up in Earth. The interesting thing for us as a foundation that's trying to inspire children is not the result of the experiment. It was kind of groundbreaking, and there are today different space agencies across the world who are repeating this experiment to validate it. But the interesting thing is the process that the children went through. So for example, let's say this apple experiment. So why an apple and not an orange? Why an orange and not a carrot? So they need to choose the right fruit. Second of all, how do you know when the apple is going to start to get rot? Maybe on the plane from Israel to the States, because we're sending it to outer space from Cape Canaveral in Florida. Maybe on the way back. So the point is that we are simulating a real scientific research to middle school children, and the results are totally amazing.
I just think of all the little kids that say, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up, and they're able to actually participate in this very real way because of the programs that you guys have created. It sounds incredible. So what are some of the other projects that the foundation is working on? So
basically in space, this is our flagship program. It's called Ramon Space Lab. We're planning to expand it to the US with our astronaut friends and going to brand it Columbia Space Lab. In the leadership development branch, we are having a program called the Aviators Club, which is basically a leadership program of the Ramon Foundation with the Air Force, who has operative squadrons of pilots who are coming to schools and mentoring and teaching the children, which is a very desirable program. And we have also some small programs, mainly with the Israeli Space Agency and the Ministry of Science, to encourage children into science and into STEM studies.
Well, it seems like you guys have created something that's opening so many windows to young people. Like I said, all the children who never thought they were going to get a chance to be an astronaut have more hope. And the fact that you're expanding into the United States is very exciting for all of our viewers. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much. Sure.